So today I will discuss the following topic called functions. A function is a rule that assigns each input exactly one output. Every element of A with a unique element of B. So this is your arrow diagram. Using relation, we can draw an arrow diagram. So what is this one-to-one function? A function in which Hello everyone, welcome back to my new session on discrete transformations. I am Shweta, Computer Science faculty, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Mysuru. So in my last session, I have discussed about relations and relation as directed graph and relation as matrices. So today I will discuss the following topic called functions. Very important concept. So what is this function? Everybody is familiar about the function name, right? So in mathematics, we have another name for function. So what is this function? A function is a rule that assigns each input exactly one output. So for every input, for each input, we'll get one output exactly. That is called as function. So it is a mathematical rule that assigns each input exactly one output, which associates every element of A with the unique element of B. That means with the help of Venn diagram, we can assign the functions every element of A is a unique element of B. Every element of A is a unique element of B. Every element of A is a unique element of B is called as functions. So function is a rule that assigns each input exactly one output. So here we have two sets, set A and set B. So here I will consider each input, this is input and this is output. Each input is exactly one output. This input contains exactly one output is called as function. And the set of all inputs for a function is called domain. So this set of inputs is called as domain. And the set of all allowable outputs is called as codomain. So in function is represented by F, function A to B, which associates each element of A is a unique element of B, then we can call it as it is a function. Then all the input values is called as, or all the input value, it contains exactly one output. So it is called as function. So all the input values is called as domain and all the output values is called as codomain of this domain. And we would write f x to y, function x to y, to describe a function with a name f and domain called as x and codomain is y. So here f means function and x is domain and y is codomain. A is called domain of F. So here A to B, A is called domain and B is called codomain. And if F maps elements A belongs to A to elements B belongs to B, we write F of A is equal to B. So A belongs to A and B belongs to B. Then we can write in function f of A is equal to B. If f of A is equal to B, B is called image. So here f of A is equal to B, B is called as image of this A. Here f of A is equal to B, B is called as image of this A and A is in pre-image of B. So A is called as pre-image of B and B is called as image of A. And range of F is a set of all images of elements in A. So here we can call this set A as range. So this is a definition of function. So function means f A to B, which associates every element of A with a unique element of B. So here I have two sets, set X and set Y. Every element of A, 1, 2 and 3, set X and Y. So here we have three set elements and here we have 4 set elements. So in X and Y function, X to Y, every element of A with a unique element of B and every element of A with a unique element of B. That means every element of X with a unique element of Y is called as function and every element of A with a unique element of B. So here we can call it as it is a function. Function means every element of A is a unique element of B. But here the element 3 has 2 images in Y. So this is not a function. So these examples are not function because here the element 3 has 2 images. So it is not a function. So function means what? Every element of A is a unique element of B. But in this example, the element 3 has 2 images or 2 elements. So it is not a function. So in this example also you can observe. So here we have two sets, set A and set B. In set A we have 3 elements. In set B also we have 3 elements. So every element of A is a unique element of B. Every element of A is a unique element of B. But this 3 has not having any images. So it is not a function. So it is not a function. So function means every element of A is a unique element of B. So in this example, 3 has 2 images, so it is not a function. But in this image, 3 doesn't have any image, so it is not a function. Let us understand with our example. Let A is equal to 1 to 3, B is equal to -1, 0. R be the relation from A to B. So here we have 2 sets using Venn diagram. We can represent the function 1, 2, 3 and -1 and 0. Here we have a relation 1 to -1 and 1 to 0, 2 -1, 2 to 0, 3 -1 and 3 to 0. Draw a arrow diagram and find it is function or not. So this is your arrow diagram. Using relation we can draw an arrow diagram. So using arrow diagram we can find whether it is function or not. Is this function? No, it is not a function because 1 has 2 images or elements and again 2 has 2 images and 3 has 2 images. So it is not a function. Function means every element of A is a unique element of B. Then only we can call it as it is a function. So this is not a function. And the next question, let A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and B is equal to A, B, C, D. R be a relation from A to B. Here we have relation R 1 to A, 2 to B, 3 to D and 4 to C. So here we have to draw an arrow diagram. This is your arrow diagram and we have to find its function or not. Is this function? Yes, it is function because every element of A is a unique element of B. 1 is having 1 image and 2 has 1 image, 3 has 1 image and 4 has 1 image. Every element of A is a unique element of B. Then we can call it as it is a function. Yes, it is a function. So this is about function. It is very simple concept. Easily you can score in functions. Please understand the concept. Function in the sense it is every element of A is a unique element of B. It is called as function. In function, we have different types of function: one-to-one, one-to-many, on-to function, into function, etc. Let us understand one by one in detail. So first type is injective. Injective function is also known as one-to-one function. So what is this one-to-one function? A function in which one element of domain set is connected to one element of codomain set. So here I have an image. So in this image, one element of domain, this is domain and this is codomain. One element of domain is connected to another element of codomain. Then we can call it as it is one-to-one function. So this is one-to-one function. So here every element of domain, this is domain and this is codomain. Every element of domain is connected to another element of codomain. In domain we have 4 elements. In codomain we have 6 elements. But this 3 is not having any other elements and 1 is not having any other images. So then also we can call it as it is one-to-one because every element of domain is connected to another element of codomain. Then we can call it as it is one-to-one function. So this is an image for one-to-one function. Using Venn diagram we can represent the function. And the next one we have surjective function. So injective function is also known as one-to-one function and surjective function is known as on-to function. Surjective is on-to function. A function in which every element of codomain set has one pre-image. Every element of codomain set has one pre-image. So here in codomain we have A, B, C, 3 set elements. So every element of codomain has pre-image of domain. So here we have 4 elements in domain, 3 elements in codomain. So what is this on-to function? Every element of codomain has pre-image of domain. Then we can call it as it is surjective function or on-to function. Every element of codomain set has one pre-image. Then we can call it as it is surjective. So in this example here in set A we have 1, 2, 3, 4. In set B we have A, B, C and 1 to B, 2 to A and 3 to C and 4 to C. So here this is not a one-to-one function because here in domain 3 and 4 has only one image called C. So it is not a one-to-one function. This is on-to function because every element of codomain has pre-image. This is called as on-to function or surjective function. Don't get confused on these types of functions. It is very simple concept. In one-to-one function, each element of domain set has connected to one element of codomain. Then we can call it as it is one-to-one. In on-to function, every element of codomain set has pre-image. But in on-to function, every element of codomain set has one pre-image. Then we can call it as it is a on-to function. And next type, bijective. So what is this bijective? Bijective in the sense is a combination of one-to-one and on-to function. This is called as bijective function. Combination of one-to-one and on-to function called as bijective function. So a function which is both injective, that is one-to-one, and surjective, that is on-to, is called as bijective, that is one-to-one on-to function. Example, in this example, we have two sets, set P and set Q. So in set P, we have X, Y, Z, and in set Q, we have A, B, C. So here we have relation X to A, X and Y to B, and Z to C. The F is a one-to-one function and also it is on-to. So it is bijective function. Why it is one-to-one function? So every element of domain is connected to every element of codomain. Every element of domain is connected to the codomain. So we can call it as it is one-to-one function. So what is this on-to function? So here every element of codomain has one pre-image of domain. Then we can call it as it is onto function. So the combination of both one-to-one and onto function is bijective function. Injective plus surjective is equal to bijective function. And the next function is, it is into function. A function in which there must be an element of codomain Y does not have pre-image in domain X. So here domain and this codomain. In domain we have 3 elements and in codomain we have 4 elements. So what is the definition of into function? There must be an element of codomain. There must be an element of codomain does not have a pre-image. So for this 4 is not having any pre-image, then we can call it as it is into function. So in codomain, there must be an element of codomain that does not have any pre-image. So this 4 is not having any pre-image, then we can call it as it is into function. So here we have 2 sets, set A and set B. We have relation A to 1, B to 2 and C to 3. This 4 is not having any pre-image, then we can call it as it is into function. Very simple concept, right? Please understand the concept. So one-to-one, onto function and into function. The next type is one-to-one and into. This is different. One-to-one, onto is different. One-to-one, into is different. So into means for one element, there is no pre-image for this element, then it is into function. And what is one-to-one? For every element of domain is connected to another element of codomain, then it is called as one-to-one. So here, for every element of domain is connected to another element in codomain, then it is one-to-one function. But in codomain, so 2 is not having any pre-image, then it is into function. So one-to-one into function is the combination of both one-to-one and into function. So this is called as one-to-one and into function. And the next type is many-to-one function. Very important concept, many-to-one function. So here we have 2 sets, set X and set Y. The function f is said to be many-to-one functions if there exist 2 or more than 2 different elements in X having the same image in Y. So in domain, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In codomain, we have only 3 set elements called X and Y, Z. Here, there exist 2 or more than 2 different elements. There exist 2 or more than 2 different elements. So, if the domain connects to 2 or more than 2 different elements, then we can call it as many to one. Many elements are connected to this one element. So, it is many to one function. So, here in codomain, we have X. So, this X has 3 pre-images. So, 2 or more than 2 elements are connected means it is many to one function. So, this is about many to one functions, and the next type is many to one into function. So, what is into function? Into function in the sense there is no image for this element. So, there is no pre-image for this element is called as into function. So, what is many to one? 2 or more than 2 element for this one element. It is called as many to one. We have many elements with it is connected to one element. So, it is into and many to in. And the next topic is many to one onto function. So, many to one into is different, many to one onto is different. So, here we have 2 sets X and Y. The function f is called many to one onto function if and only if it is both many one and onto. Both many one and onto combination is called as many to one onto function. Onto means every element of codomain has pre-image of domain. So, every element of codomain in the sense K has image and this I has image. But for this one image, it is connected with two elements called 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is connected to this one single element, and 3 and 4 is connected to this single element. So it is many to one, and also it is onto. Onto in the sense every element of codomain has pre-image of domain. So it is called as it is onto function. So the combination of many to one and onto function is many to one onto function. So this is a Venn diagram for many to one onto function. And the next concept is identity function. So what is this identity function? So in identity function, a function f is called the identity function if each element of set A has image on itself. Each element of set A has image of set itself. So here I have two set elements, set A and set B. So this is domain and this is codomain. Each element of set A has image of itself. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every element of set A is in the element of set A itself. It is called as identity function. It is represented by I. Here I have two sets, set A and again set A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and set A also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is domain and this is codomain. Here I have relation 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4 and 5 to 5. So 1 to 1 means element of set A has image on itself, and 2 to 2 means element of set B and itself. So this is about identity function. So this is a Venn diagram for identity function. So today we learned the types of functions and the introduction of functions. So we have studied 9 different types of functions, that is one-to-one function, onto function, into function, one-to-one onto function, one-to-one into function, many-to-one, many-to-onto, many-to-one into function. And also you have studied this identity functions. So in my next session, I will come with a different concept called invertible functions and composition of functions. Thank you.